MTN, everywhere you go.
What's a feeling?
Yes, okay. Nini, be part of yes, now be part of the entertainment committee. And then, do you have any questions you want to ask him so far?
Why did you ask?
You do? Yes, Roland.
Okay, like what? I'm excited that you're here because what you're doing is stuff like what I plan to do. How did you get access to the prison to be able to start something like that?
Okay. It was first I would say God's grace. First. Secondly, when I realized what I was going to do, I had to look for, someone that knows the authority, because I knew it's a difficult task. I had to operate from the #1 person in charge of the prison system in Nigeria. By the special grace of God, the children of the Controller General of Prisons, happened to be my friend. And when I discussed it with them, they were like, okay, this is fantastic. I hope it works in Nigeria. But they booked an appointment for me with their dad at the prison's head office in Abuja. And when I got there, he asked me just one question. Young man, you want me to open my prisons for you to come and do a musical concert? I said, yes, sir. He said, why? And I said, the same way you open your prisons for pastors, imam, and all those people to come in and speak to this image, don't you think it's becoming monotonous? They hear the same thing every day. In the process of trying to change someone, you have to come from different angles. Don't come with a regular method. It has gotten to the point where I'm very sure sometimes when inmates see a pastor coming, the same thing is coming to tell us. So it's still the same message, but it's porridge. But I'm serving this porridge in a golden plate.
With strawberries.
Yeah, with strawberries and all that. But it's still porridge.
Yes.
But I'm not serving it the way it's been served. And they looked at me and they said, wow, let's give it a trial. And the first concert in 2009, I had all the inmates in that particular prison in Kirikiri came out. All the inmates. Jimmy Jat was there, Samuel Pusu, Mike Aremo, all my big brothers in the music industry. I had Fela Drotoye, to come speak with the inmates at some point. Now, the thing is, I didn't even make it gospel, because regularly they feel, it's supposed to be a gospel thing. No, I invited non-gospel artists. AY.com is ready to come and do Pass Me Your Love, Tile Pass Me Your Love. Jimmy Jat is on the wheels playing Gongwaso, Kutukwawu. And in the midst of all of this drama, a Samuel Posu comes in and seals it up with God's presence. Now I bring back another, it was Daddy Fresh. Old school, someone, most of you probably don't even know Daddy Fresh, but he's one of the big names in the music business. He came in on stage, brought back those old memories, and they went, oh! And the next thing, Fela Drotoye comes in and seals it up. At the end of the day, all I saw was a huge amount of, I won't use the word inmates for them anymore, a huge amount of beautiful people crying, broken, and they want to become better persons. So, that was how I got access into the prisons.
Yes, Sir Simon.
Before you decided to go into the prison to sing, was something, maybe a story from a prisoner, or you've been there? Because I know people who spent 7, 8, 10 years, and I've heard their stories. I know I can tell you everything that happened in prison. So I don't know, did you hear any story from anybody, or have you been in prison before?
Okay, beautiful. I hear this question like every day of my life. Some even call me, some say they are not sure if I'm not an ex-convict, but the truth is, as I'm sitting right in front of you, I've never been arrested. I've never had cause to be reported. I'm a very easygoing young man. I don't get involved in anything naughty. I was just in my house one day and I lost peace. As a man, when you lose peace, I don't know what it was, but I just knew, like, all I saw was, it was like a vision, like, you have to go into the prisons. I didn't understand it. Now, in the bit of struggling and trying to understand why should I go to the prison, I was in Abuja for, it was a World Cup, one of the under-17 World Cup that they did in Abuja. And apparently I was in Abuja because Kanu Uncle was my friend, so we're just all in Abuja. And the next thing, I was trying to get the team song. In fact, that was what took me to Abuja. I was trying to get the deal for the team song for the World Cup. And there's this woman that's she's a reporter on NTA. She reports crime and all of that. She just called me. She was like, Lamborghini, I heard you're in town. Come on, there's an award I'm going for. I'd like you to accompany me. Behold, I just wanted to accompany this woman. And I got to the award. And it was a security award. We had the Inspector General of Police, different security sector, private and the government, everybody all there. And right there while I was sitting, they were discussing security issues, crime, and how can we fight against crime in the society. And that word came again. You're a musician, you have a voice, you can fight crime. You can get to places where all these people cannot get into. You can get into the minds of the people that these people can never get into. Pick it up, say no to crime. And that was how it started. I left that conference, called my friend and I said, I have this burden, I've been keeping it, I don't know how to express it, but I want to do concert in prison called Say No to Crime. You know, and that was how I started. It's not like I have an experience.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
I just knew I had to ask.
You know, so that was how I started, you know, my concert in prison. Initially, the first time I went there, you know, from my little kind of background, you know, it was terrible. Like I was shaky because there's this mentality about prison. I was like, okay, can I do this? You know, but when I got in, I don't know, there is something about when God gives it to you. Like I'm not a lawyer. I've never been arrested. I don't have a history. But God gave me an assignment. And when God gives you an assignment, He makes provision. All the things you need. All you need to do is obey. I don't know if you understand. All I did is that I obeyed. And today, over 50 musicians have gone with me into the prisons. The ones that have not come, they are calling to say, please, when next are you doing this concert? I want to make sure I'm there. And I'm like, okay. Now, it started from just doing concerts. Before I knew what was happening, I was getting freedom for people that don't deserve to be in prison. It's not me. I'm just a messenger. I'm just doing what. I hope you're clear. Yeah.
Sir, thank you for being here. And I really appreciate your presence.
Thank you.
The question I want to ask is, you said during this your profession, you've been able to get some persons out of the prisons,
yeah.
About 30-something persons. And how sure are you that out there they are changed persons and they are different from the person they used to be while they were in prison?
All right, first and foremost, the people I helped are not capital offenders. All right? In the process, when you have a vision or in the process of understanding a project you're working on, you don't dive into the deep ends. You start gradually. Now, the first set of people I helped were people that were arrested for minor offenses that I believe they don't deserve to be in capital prison or in a federal prison. Rather, across the globe, such people are giving community service. I don't know if you understand. Such people are giving community service. When you arrest someone for street trade offense, for instance, I'm not saying you should break the law. The law says no street trade. Fine. There is an agency taking care of such. Now, when such agency pick you up, I feel such agency should have like some form of punishment, you know, that can be given, but not in putting them or mixing them up with capital offenders. My fear was when you pick up a regular young man that is trying to survive, he's not thinking about crime. He's probably selling on the streets, which the law says do not sell on the street. But that young man has shown that I am not lazy. I want to be somebody. I can do this. I want to work and get paid. Now, but he's doing it the wrong way. The best you can do is pick up such people and teach them how to do it the right way. Now, when you lock such a young man with a capital offenders, don't forget, most capital offenders have unexecuted projects in the outside world. And they're looking for a desperado that can come out and execute it for them. I'll use myself as an example. Imagine me being arrested for street trade offense, and probably I don't have the small money to quickly pay for the fine, for me to go, and I land in prison, for instance, and I'm just there, and this dude walks up to me to say, "What's up? I know you're here for just a minor offense. I can get you out of here, but I need you to go and execute something for me that I didn't finish in the outside world. If you do it properly, I'll give you 100,000. I will jump at it." That is me putting myself in the shoes of those people that are arrested for such minor offenses. And that was what propelled me, into going out there to help them before they get mixed up with the wrong set of people. Now, what I promised them was freedom. Normally, mommy, you understand what I'm about to say. Normally, when people have such people, they make them become their slave. They take advantage of them. They want them to worship them. But for me, what God told me is, I've not even started. My dream is to help inmates all over the world. And I've just gotten 32, and people scream, and I'm like, okay, that's no big deal. Where I'm going, where God is taking me is massive. Now, the last thing I would do is to take advantage of them and keep them. I got them freedom, sent them back to their families, and told them they should not ever get involved in such lifestyle anymore. And I must tell you that in this music industry, so many of our colleagues that have supported to get some of them employed. Sondare employed 2. I don't know if you know Sondare. Sondare is one of the biggest artist manager in the history of Nigeria. He was a former manager to Mohit, when Mohit was still together. He employed 2. Some of these inmates, when I was about getting freedom for them, so many musicians supported me financially to pay for their fine. P Square paid for 10. Now, these are regular news that you wouldn't hear on a regular basis. Lady Bakari, so many of them. And the day I was going to get freedom for them, I didn't just release them, so just go. No, I called my big brothers in the industry. My colleague Aki and Popo was there. Lady Bakari did the Mabiaku Derele Karini Go Adams. I called everybody. I'm like, these guys are not criminals. The only thing we can give to them is boost them up psychologically. Let them know that they are not going out there to face depression, but let's boost them. Let's celebrate them. Now, they left the prison celebrated. And when they hit there, one actually called me from UK. I never collected their numbers. I said, if I ever call you for an interview, no, I'm trying to take advantage of you. I will never call you to say, I'm going for an interview and they want, no. I would never do that. But you can have my number. Call me if you wish. But if you don't want to call me, it's all good. And from the day I released them, Mom, I already moved to the next thing. I'm not even dwelling on it anymore. So does that answer your question perfectly? Now, if I'm going to help capital offenders, I would watch properly to be sure that the person is totally reformed. But it's a process. It takes a longer process than the minor offenders. Capital offenders, I wouldn't just jump into helping a capital offender because I need to be sure the person is totally changed. And I'm not being changed because he has known that Lamborghini is here to help. So let me quickly change and adjust and hide under the umbrella, and play out until I get out. No.
Better to leave capital offenders.
So the system. But for me as a musician, as an individual, I'm out there to help the helpless people, and that is what I want you all to understand as well. You see a Jay-Z, for instance, will leave America and come to some dead end in Africa to give them water, give them, make sure when God finally answers your prayer and you are up there, remember you're not there because you are the best singer. Remember you're not there because you're the best entertainer, but God's grace is keeping you there. And the only way you can tell God thank you is putting smart of those helpless people. Most times when I go out and I tell people that P Square paid for 10 helpless inmates when I was doing it, they are shocked. But because they understand what it means to give back to the society. My big mom is sitting just right there. You see her every day. We have a particular place we meet, called God Bless Nigeria. This is the place where we have, ex-convicts, ex-prostitutes, touts from the street. She forgets the fact that she's Joke Silva, the most respected female actress in the history of Nigeria, Africa. She forgets all about that. She goes down I know one day you'll be opportune to see her in action. She goes all the way down, hugs them, play with them, carry them. Just imagine, I don't know how to put it. Now, I don't know if you understand. Now, this will give you a deeper understanding that music is beyond you just standing on stage and singing. It's from now you will start planning what I call life after music. You need to plan life after music. That is why when you get involved in abusive substance, what happens to your life after music? What happens to when, and there's something I forgot to even say. Do you know these abusive substances are actually not cheap? They're expensive. It's a very expensive habit. It's just like one of the most expensive habits, like, bikers. To be a biker is not cheap. It's a very expensive sport or habit to play around. That's how this thing is. Now, on a good day, when you check your income, your financial income, you will feel it's nothing. There was something I experienced, my guardian. He said one of the reasons why he quit smoking was his wife would keep begging and begging. He just goes like, leave me alone. This particular time, they could not pay school fees for their son. Now, the wife said she made up her mind that she was not going to say a word again. He only said one thing to him. He said, do you know all the money you've been using to smoke can pay our son's school fees? The man said, lie. She's a very smart woman. She didn't make it look like it's a quarrel. She said, okay, let's play a game. Don't smoke for 2 months. We'll open, but you will promise me that the way you smoke every day, you'll be giving me that money and I'll be putting it there. Let's calculate it. They had an agreement as a couple. They were just playing and the man just felt, it's not possible. It's an adventure. Let's see. They had twice the baby's school fees in 2 months, unknown to him. So it's an expensive habit. That was the reason why he stopped smoking.
He was like rolling up dollars and everything.
Yeah, that's the only reason why he stopped. Now, so don't get carried away when the millions are coming in. You feel, oh, if I spend 100,000 out of 1 million, I'm spending just 100,000 on this thing. I still have 900,000. No. Now, when you use 100,000, don't forget, you get involved. Before you know what's happening, you're damaging things and you need to maintain those things you're damaging. It's no longer 900 you have left, because the things you damage needs to be repaired, which is as a result of the 100,000 naira you felt is nothing. Before you know what's happening, you've spent your 1 million naira because of the damage in your first 100,000 naira. Because you listen to the voice of that 100,000 naira. So it's an expensive habit. I can only plead with you. That's why I'm here as an NDLA ambassador. Beg you, you can do your hip hop, you can do your music, you can do your crazy style, you can do everything, but do not allow these substances be your method or your form of energy. Build your energy around your music. Me, for instance, put me on stage. Just let the keyboardist press one chord. Bam, I'm gone. Like, I'm gone. It's not me sitting here with you. I don't know what happens to me, but I'm gone because I trained myself. I trained, and it's what I believe in. There's this thing that happened when we were younger. My brother was like, I'm sick, I have malaria. But my mom was like, this boy is not sick. Boy, he was sick now. She boy. Okay. We got to the hospital. Doctor noticed that this boy is not sick. He's just having little drama. Drip. What is drip?
Saline solution.
They didn't have to give him chloroquine or give him any antibiotics or anything. They just put drip in his body. I'm sure he has not even received up to like 20 drops. And he was like, I'm fine. It's just the belief that when I get to the hospital and the doctor attends to me, I'm fine. It is your belief that when I take in this substance, I'll perform better. Why don't you channel that belief and say, when I hear this chord, when I hear this thing, when I hear let's welcome live on stage, give it up for Africa's finest, I'm gone. Why don't you make that your belief? Trust me, that's all I need to hear to go crazy. He has traveled all over the world, he's done this, he's done that. Oh my goodness, he's electric, I'm gone. Because that is what I made myself to believe in. Do not believe in these substances to be able to push you. Now let me play you a tape of an embarrassment these little substances can give to you. Now, this substance will not tell you that it can embarrass you. Now, by the time you get involved in these substances, maybe they find few of it in your luggage while you're traveling, it becomes an embarrassment. It's all over the news. Now, if it's not at the airport, you took in these substances and you're on stage and the crowd is expecting your regular moves, but you're slow. That's embarrassing yourself. This can lead to a huge embarrassment that can take you years to build back, if you have the grace to build it back. Some people they don't even have the grace to build it back. So the truth is, as a family, I know by the special grace of God we'll all meet out there someday. I want you to believe in yourself. Train yourself. The way you're training yourself right now in the house and Project Fame is doing a lot for you guys. So many of us didn't have this opportunity. I didn't have this opportunity. Nobody to sit me down to say routine day and night, do this. There is no mommy to come and tell me coordinate yourself. I learned it the hard way on the streets of Lagos. But I got my head up. All my friends that got involved and believed in these substances to be able to do well on stage, they don't even perform half of what I do when I'm on stage. There was one show I was doing, and there was one of the big banks in Ghana. The CEO was around, and when he stood up, the whole staff stood up with him. You know that kind of thing, like the boss is standing, and the man walked up to me and said, "There is only one musician I've seen like this on stage in Nigeria, and his name is Femi Kuti. I compare your energy to that of him," and I'm like, "Thank you, sir. Did you?" I said, "No, sir. Naturally. Just give me water." I don't know if you understand what I mean. Now, one thing nobody will tell you, this substance that we're talking about, this abusive substance, would never allow you to dine and wine with the right set of mighty and the great kings. Because along the line, at the end of the day, if it doesn't lead to death, it leads to embarrassment. If it doesn't lead to embarrassment, it leads to suicide. You just sit and you just feel like, what? Let me just take my life. Whatever it is that you're involved in and you cannot be proud about it in public, and beat your chest and say, "I am involved in this thing" in public, cut off. Cut off. As long as you cannot be proud about it and hit your chest and say, "Yes, I am. Look at me. Yes, I am." Have you ever seen any man come up with an abusive substance, like the white abusive substance, for instance, and stand at the junction and say, "Yes, they call me Lamborghini, and watch me as I do this. Hooray, hooray," and everybody applauds? No. Why is it that this so-called stranger friend of yours is never confident enough to celebrate you in public? He always wants you to lock yourself in one room. You have to quickly do it before anybody comes around you. Why? I beg you. This is like a heart-to-heart discussion this morning. I beg you, do not allow these substances ruin a huge dream ahead of you. Like when it happens and you're on demand, you're everywhere, please cultivate the habit. MTN Project Fame is not stupid. When they give you, there is a music teacher, there is a medical department, there is this, there is that. Let me not lie to you. You don't have to be an A-list artist to have all these things sorted out around you. get a fitness trainer. Even if you say you cannot afford the best fitness trainer in town, there is always, for every expensive thing, there is somewhere that you can get that same thing at an affordable price in your pocket. Look for it. Cultivate the habit of having a fitness trainer around you. It's not expensive to have a medical doctor friend. Even if you cannot pay the doctor, have a medical doctor friend. Call. I've done this, I've done that. This is what I'm feeling. Do checkup. Now, when you equip yourself, these things will not happen all of a sudden. You can't just fall. Because you're in the right direction. You have these things. Don't make anybody make you believe. Let me not lie to you. You walk into a store. You see toothpick. 2,000 naira. That same toothpick, I'll buy it for $50. In this same Lagos. In fact, my $50 toothpick might be better than your 2,000 naira toothpick. I don't know if you understand. So that is how it is. So equip yourself. Don't feel. That's why MTN Project Fame is like a proper introduction of the real music world. I'm talking this morning like we're in America. I'm not talking from the angle of the way entertainers treat themselves. I'll use that word because they're not deceiving anybody. They're deceiving themselves. I'm talking from the professional angle, because by the special grace of God, you're going to be heard all over the world.
Amen.
You know, you're going to become so big that seriously, you're going to become so big that you'll be traveling across the globe. The whites, they will sit and listen to you.
Prophesy.
So do not train yourself. Do not train yourself like after I'm just a Lagosian, I'm just a Lagos artist. Nah. I drew the line.
Liberian artist.
Oh, she's a Liberian.
Yes.
Hey, I used to know how to speak that Liberian English. My friend, I love the water you give me, eh? When me love the water. Oh, my friend, this biscuit is sweet. Am I getting it?
But at least when she's in my class, she finishes the end of her words. So, I'm not getting that in my class yet. Well done, girl.
So the truth is, it's a huge realization, and we need to wake up. I drew the line when I was very young. I don't know where I'm still going. I just know I'm going, and I'm equipping myself by the day. But when I was very young, when I was 16 or 17 thereabout, because I started the music and I go into the music industry very young, but I drew the line. I didn't allow some certain kind of people come close to me. I chose the people I want around me. I can tell you, sometimes when I speak, Mom, people don't believe it's a musician actually talking. Because the mentality about musicians, they feel they don't have anything to offer. Now you have to show the world that you have something to offer. Who says a musician cannot become a president? Who says, gone are those days? We can call names of entertainers that are now commissioners. You know them. They were equipped, whether you like it or not. If they saw themselves as I'm just on TV. Now, don't get it wrong. Being president, not just as a country president. As a musician, you're bigger than a country. That makes you a president. Rihanna is bigger than our country. P-Square is bigger than Nigeria. Because P-Square goes to Liberia, you see they are defending. But a regular person in Nigeria will not go to Liberia. In fact, there are Nigerians in Liberia that walk on the street and they just see I'm a Nigerian friend. I'm a Nigerian friend. You walk past. They are like nothing. But in this field, Mommy is an example. She's seated here. She's bigger than Nigeria. She's bigger than so many countries, because in so many countries, they wake up every day to watch her movies. They wake up every day to read her stories. That makes her a queen. She's the president. She's sitting. Now, you have followers. What do you want your followers to believe? You have to make your followers understand that there's one word called reality. please and please and please do not live a fake life. Most entertainers live a fake life. Be real. Let them love you for who you are. That is why it looks like it's impossible for some younger artists to get to the places where the likes of the Two-Face, the older names are right now. It looks like it's impossible for the younger ones. They have hits. The reason why is because these people watch them grow. They are natural. They remember how Two-Face used to jump balls, natural. They remember how P-Square used to come and say, oh, on a Gary day, make all of us drink this Gary. And they watch them grow. Allow your fans to watch you grow. Let them know that you're not perfect. Do not build a glass house around yourself. Be real. The biggest deceit in this world is self-deceit.
Project Fame. What a feeling.
MTN, everywhere you go.